Good morning, happy Friday. Well, I do not think it is random or coincidence that I pulled this card this morning because we've survived week one of quarantine. And while it feels like it's sort of a spring break gone wrong, no, friends, we're here for a little while. But it's all good because it is for the greater good. And I've been talking a lot to my coaches and to my customers this week and to other coaches in the Team Beachbody Network. And we've just been, because I have a ton of masterminds, especially now because people have a little bit more time during the day to have them. So I've had a lot of conversations this week. And, it's this interesting place where people can either be not this, or this. And that sounds kind of elementary, and I don't mean it to sound, I don't know what the word is, snarky, but that's not the right word. But I just think we have a choice here. We have a choice as to being this or not in a situation that doesn't lend itself to any of this, the cancellations, the interrupted lives, the hard stuff, the people losing jobs, businesses closing. There's hard stuff that's happening right now. But there's hard stuff that happens every day in life. It's certainly more present right now because, there's no one that's not experiencing this, right? My girls and I were talking about this too. And I was talking about it with some coaches because we're just human. This is human nature. We can get in our heads and be like, well, this is the hardest for us. Actually, no, it's not. It's not the hardest for any of us. It's hard on all of us. And that in itself should be so almost freeing and relieving that it's hard for all of us. We're all experiencing anxiety. We're all experiencing stress. We're all experiencing frustration. We're all experiencing the unknown. We just all are. What's going to happen with everything? We're all experiencing that. But then we have a choice to be this or not. We can choose to be the light, or we can choose to not. And here's the thing. Most of us, unless you're a doctor working on the forefront of this, most of us are not going to be able to come up with the vaccine for this, okay? We can't control that. So what can we control? We can control our mindset, our attitude, our routines, our habits, our outlook. And if you have children at home, like I do, a lot of us do, they're watching us, and they're watching us navigate this, and they're watching us either dig into our work more to help others and create even more purpose and joy in our life, or they're watching us sit and watch Netflix. And that's a choice to either be this or not, because most of us can't come up with a vaccine, but most of us have a lot more control in our lives than we might give ourselves credit, or we even think that we do. And amidst all the heinous stuff that is happening, the heartbreak stuff that is happening, the businesses closing, amidst all of that, there are these really cool creative endeavors that are happening that would never be happening without this. And while there's a ton of fog and a lot of uncertainty and so much unknown, there are these bits of light that are breaking through and trying to break through. And each of us has an opportunity to be that. Each of us has an opportunity to be that light. And why not take it? Because the alternative is to sit in the darkness, which won't make us feel any better. We're still not going to have a vaccine. Nothing will have changed. We're still home, but yet it just feels crummier than if we pick up a light and not only light our own way, but light the way for others. Like, why not? Isn't that such a better choice? Hold, please. I'm not saying it's an easy choice, but also, frankly, it's not that hard. We make so much in life so much harder than it has to be. And I know you've heard me talk about this forever. It's really where this saying, make the energize and do the thing, came from. I happened to just be talking one day on my Instagram story, I think, and I'm like, take the emotion and the drama out of working out. Just make your energize and go do the thing. Stop thinking about it. Stop overthinking about it. And the more I thought about that, it really seemed to connect with almost everything in life. Let's take the emotion And the drama out of some of this, knowing that there are heartbreaking events that are happening. Yes. So maybe it's not so much taking the emotion out of it, it's taking the drama out of it, and it's taking the it's so much harder for me attitude out of it. Maybe that's what pertains to this situation more. It's taking the drama out of it, because it's not really any harder for anybody else than it is for everybody else. Everyone has their own baggage. Everyone has their own life situations. Everyone's dealing with different cancellations and different life interruptions and all across the board. And that's the one common factor, is that we're all trying to figure this out. And instead of sitting and sequestering ourselves in the dark and watching Netflix, no slam on Netflix, watch a movie every once in a while. But instead of sitting in the dark and watching it all day long, what if we dug into some of these incredible opportunities that I'm seeing start to surface? Example, Tyler Peck, who's a New York City ballet principal dancer, she knows she needs to do class for herself every day. So she's just streaming that live on, Instagram or Facebook or something, and opening it up. And so Jessie, my youngest, the musical theater major, has been taking ballet class with Tyler Peck because it's streamed live. That would never happen any other time in life. Never. Josie was telling me about an artist, I think it's a cartoonist, who is now, instead of just, drawing in his own apartment and doing his own thing, is opening it up and doing classes for children and teaching them how to draw and how to cartoon online. What? That would never happen, And these artists that are seeing students' shows and musicals being canceled, and these kids not getting a chance to perform, and opening up their own Instagram feeds and their own YouTubes and saying, send me your videos. I want to be your audience. That would never happen. Jesse's would never have a Broadway star watching her sing some of her songs as Sandy in Grease. But she can now. And I'm just so convinced that the more we look at the positive and the more we pick up the light, the more we look for the light, the more we'll find it. And at the end of the day, the fog's going to clear at some point. The fog's going to clear. This isn't going to last forever. The fog's going to clear. And when it clears, I want to be the one that's been holding the light, and I want to be surrounded by the other people who've been holding the light. And I know this, that if I'm holding the light and helping other people find it, I can't get left in the dark. I can't. So I'm asking you today, I'm encouraging you today, and I'm saying it to myself every day. So, that much, please know that anything I share, any of these thoughts in my head that I wake up with on a Friday morning, week 1 quarantine, when I wake up with them, I'm thinking, I have to remind myself of this too. Always. I always have to remind myself of this too. We get the option to choose this every day, even in this weird, wacky, surreal situation that will never happen again. We'll never see this again in our lifetime. People will tell stories about this for generations. We'll never see it again, but we have a choice to be this every day. And we have a choice to help others be that every day too. We have a choice to pick up the light and help others, because we can sit in the fog that certainly is kind of over us and feels like it keeps creeping in a little bit more every day, or we can pick up the light and light the way. And if we're lighting the way for others, we're lighting the way for ourselves too. And that's a beautiful thing. And amidst the yuck stuff that's happening and the crummy stuff that's happening and the heartbreaking stuff that's happening, there's some really cool stuff that's happening too. And let's do our part and our best to help those who are experiencing that heartbreak by being the light and shining our light on those situations, so we can provide some help, buying the gift cards at the restaurants, utilizing their takeout so they can stay in business, doing the things that are going to help the small businesses stay in business, supporting each other, making sure we're taking care of ourselves, tapping into our morning habits and taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other and being the light for others. And if we can do that, and if we all can do that, I think the fog will lift sooner. So I'm encouraging you and me. Let's do this today. Have a great Friday.